Our most recent resident to the Wild Bird Care Center is a starling we received 5 days ago. He's an adult. It looks like he was attacked by an animal. His injuries consisted of a loss of tail and a large laceration on his left femur, but his most severe injury was his entire back of his skull was lacerated really badly, so he actually needed stitches to close up that wound. You do have to make sure that the wounds stay clean, so there is a bit of maintenance making sure that there's no feathers and dirt getting into the wounds that we weren't able to suture closed. We put on something called flamazine, which basically helps the wound from getting infected and lets it heal properly.
I've never met someone who said, my favorite bird is the European starling. They are a little bit of a nuisance bird because they do make a very large, messy nest. They would happily adopt a hole from a woodpecker once it was done using it, but what they figured out is that our homes and other buildings also have holes. So as we build more homes, we're actually creating more habitat, and this is why they are thriving. We have the Shakespeare enthusiasts to blame for the European starling. So in the 19th century, someone brought over about 100 of them and released them in Central Park in New York. Shakespeare enthusiasts wanted to have every bird that Shakespeare mentioned in North America.
May I have a starling, shall be taught to speak nothing but Mortimer and give...
Today, now we have 200 million in North America. In the fall, we start to see them come together in massive groups, but they move almost like they're dancing in the sky. You wonder how they don't run into each other. It'd be very hard for a bird of prey to pick out one out of these large flocks. Starlings are one of the first babies we always get here at the center. They have these giant yellow lips. This is like a big bullseye for mom to hit with the food. We call them Mick Jagger lips. So they're really easy to identify when they come in. The first couple days, the chirps are cute. Day 5 to 7, it gets a little louder, and beyond that, we wear earplugs. They do have a very large vocal repertoire, well over 20 calls they can have in their back pocket to use to impress mates, and they learn calls, so they do mimic. We have had starlings here start imitating our voices, our whistles, and one of the coolest calls that they do mimic are the red-tailed hawk, and they're very good at it. It's fooled me before.